Hey, this is Brian with the Seat Shop, along with Hunter, here to introduce the new Seat Shop DUROFOAM replacement foam cushions. We have manufactured new foam cushions to mimic the 2000 to 2002 Chevy Suburban, Tahoe, along with the 1999 through 02 Silverado and Sierra. The foam that we use is slightly more dense than the OEM cushion, the foam that's used on the OEM, so it should be a little bit more durable.
And it's very important when installing a new or replacing a leather seat cover that you replace the foam as well. Is what happens, as you can see here, is this foam right here, over time it'll flatten out and wear out, not giving the leather the support it needs underneath. That's why that leather seat cover usually looks something like this, where you can see the tearing on the side, and it really flattens down, and you'll see all these lines and wrinkles in it, the creases. That's due to the foam. So it's very important that when you do replace the leather seat cover that you do replace the foam, otherwise you're going to have the same issues really quickly.
A lot of people have questions on how the foam installs. It's actually really, really simple. The underneath side of it is molded for the metal frame. You can see this one here. We'll take this factory one off and get down to the metal frame. The underneath side is molded identical to that, so it'll literally just pop right on. That's all there is to it. Now, what finally secures it completely to the frame is the actual leather seat cover itself. Once you install the cover, you wrap it around, it'll clip onto that frame, and that just sandwiches it all together so it can't come apart.
And if you happen to have the heated seats, the heating element can be transferred to the new foam cushion. You'll see here, this is what the heating element looks like. It sits right on top of this foam. It's held on with two adhesive strips, one up here at the front and one at the back. So if you get a new foam cushion and need that heater back on there, is what you can do is just gently peel this. You'll, just tear in the adhesive. Take both of these off. And then lay it down on the new foam cushion here. And you can get it pretty square. You'll see that these have narrow, or there's narrow parts right here. That's to go in there. That way the Velcro can set for the cover. So just make sure that those aren't tight across that trough. Just make sure they're pushed down in, and then take a can of any spray adhesive and re-glue those same strips, one at the front and one at the back there.
You don't want to coat the whole thing, just hit the front and back strips. That's pretty much all you need to do to hold that on. Now, next thing is the power control options. There's different power control options depending on what model you have. The new foam will work for either one. This one here had full power, so it's got this long side panel cut out. The new cushion has an outline here to show where you need to trim for that. If you have a base model that just has a lumbar knob, it's pre-cut for that. But you can see this trace line here. You want to make sure you go ahead and cut that out before you install the cover, because once you got the cover on, if you hadn't cut that foam section out, you have to take the cover back off to be able to cut that, or else your power control panel is not going to screw back on the side there.
And we are developing DUROFOAM for different vehicles, so if you happen to have something that's other than the 2002 or 2000 through 2002 Chevy Tahoe or Suburban or the Sierra and Silverado, then definitely check back with us. We are developing this. The reason we're developing them is because as the vehicles age, the parts get more expensive from the manufacturer, like GM. If you were going to go to the dealership, they get more expensive. So eventually discontinued. So we've developed these, or we're starting to develop these, that way to drive the price back down. If you got any questions about the foam, definitely give us a shout, as well as any of our OEM replacement leather seat covers that match with the factory. Definitely check out our website or give us a call, 214-710-2565.
We have covers for more than just Chevy. Ford, we do everything for Ford and General Motors for the full-size trucks and SUVs, for the factory match leather interiors to match the existing interiors. That way you can replace just the driver bottom or just an armrest. But usually when you're doing a replacement on the bottom, that's when we really get into the issues with the foam. Mm-hmm. But sometimes your foam's in good shape and you just need a new cover, give us a shout with that. We can get you covered on a new leather seat cover for it. If you need some foam, we can get you handled on a new cushion as well.